Hey guys, what's up? It's Luane and I am back with another video. I hope you guys enjoyed the last video I did. I've got a lot of requests now for a video that's on the pandemic and acting in the pandemic. So that's what we're going to go over today. I have my notes. Um, so first off, I want to say yes, the pandemic has been hard, and yes, the pandemic has changed a lot of things, but we can still use it to our advantage. For instance, now more than ever, we're seeing lots of auditions, even callbacks online. Shortly after the pandemic started, my son even filmed a job from home, like the actual job that aired on TV. We did it at home and sent it in. So like even that's happening depending on what it is. And I still see castings for that actually. It's gonna film from home and stuff like that. So depending on what you're doing, the job itself can actually be at home. The audition, even the callback will be like via Zoom or EcoCast Live or something like that. So we can use that to our advantage, of course, because then we have less travel, which is less money, which is, less babysitters or whatever the case may be given your situation. Also, now more than ever, there are acting schools and lessons and classes and things like that that normally don't offer online are doing online. So if you want to take an acting lesson with like some studio, like maybe you live in New York or you live in Atlanta or you live in, Chicago or something like that, and you want to take an acting class in LA, normally that's not possible because a lot of them are like, no, you need to come in, you need to be here. But since the pandemic happened, a lot of them have opened up an online feature. So that helps it broad out to nationwide, even worldwide possibly, to get those acting skills and to be able to build your resume from those skills. Um, Another thing, let's see, headshots, things like that. There's this thing I've seen lately. It's weird. I've never seen this so much before, but there's a company that's like just traveling, and I've seen traveling headshots. It's like, oh, I'm going to be in New York this shit day or Chicago this day or whatever, book your headshots with me. But this is kind of weird. It's kind of like, it's like a quick session. It's in and out, which is good because it's cheaper. Usually the quick sessions are like 30 minutes to an hour. And instead of costing you $400 or $500, they're like $50 to $100, a lot of them. You get a few shots and then they pretty much just give you the camera roll. And sometimes they'll like, okay, we'll give you like one free edited or something like that, or a couple free edited or something. And then if you want more edit, then you pay a little more or something like that. But these ones are really good because since the pandemic has happened, people can't really come into the studio. So they've been taking the time more. I'm seeing more photographers traveling, going to different locations, doing these quick mini sessions that are less expensive, which helps everybody out. Let's see. Lastly, another thing that I think is really good now that the pandemic is happening is it's giving us time to get all of our marketing material in order. So if you do have those headshots and you have been taking classes or even have been working, things like that, you could be getting your resume together, getting your headshot together, getting your portfolio together, things like that, so that you are ready when it comes to going back in person. Because right now everything's online. So, well, not everything, but a lot of things are online. So it's easy to just email your things out. Um, or even still, if you're doing emailing things out, then you still have to make sure that you have the right information and the right things. Your resume is up to date, things like that. You have nice headshots. You have updated headshots. If you're emailing them, you want them to be good quality, but you don't want them to be so large a file that they can't be downloaded or uploaded or things like that. It's a perfect time to go ahead and get you like a nice little Dropbox or Google Drive, something like that set up so that you can store all your auditions, store your headshots, store your resume, things like that. That way when someone asks you to send your things over or to email your things over or whatever the case may be, you easily know where they are and just can send them right away. Get a reel started, get a reel going if you have some material. Get that going. That way you have that in place to go ahead and be able to submit ASAP. And even if you're like, oh, I don't have any jobs right now, like you can still, if you've done some work, you don't have any auditions right now, like you're not looking to work right now, get your reel together because you never know when something's gonna pop up. So still have the reel together, have your resume together, and all fixed up, ready to go, always. And some people use business cards too, depending on what you're doing. So acting, especially for children, not so much. But but I do meet a lot of influencers and things like that, and they have business cards. Um, and then of course too, I've actually met like my situation is different, I guess, than everybody else's, and everybody's situation is different, you know. So it depends on your own preference. But there are some people I do know that use business cards for their children because you never know who you run into. So I have some, you know, I don't use them regularly, but you know, I would if I needed to. But you might be somewhere and you meet somebody, like I told you before, networking is key. So you never know who you're going to meet, where you're going to meet them, how you guys can intertwine later in life or whatever the case may be, how you guys can help each other out, different things like that. So if you have a business card, it's sometimes nice to be able to just pass that rather than, hey, everywhere you go, like passing somebody your resume, because not everybody needs the resume, you know. But if you meet somebody and are like, oh yeah, I do a lot of like digital work, and yeah, I can make a reel, you know, I could do that for you. It's like, oh wow, I'm actually looking for someone to help me make a reel. Can you please take my card, you know? And then they'll call you, whatever the case may be. So sometimes it is nice because, like I said, that networking is going to get you far because it's all about the dollar. So you never know who you can meet. That might save you a couple bucks. Let's see. Oh, okay. Also, I put in here sending emails because that's a big thing. That's a big part of it. So getting all that together, you never want to leave your emails or texts, whatever you do, too unread for too long because then you miss jobs and miss things like that. You can book your online appointments, like I said, for auditions or callbacks or whatever the case may be. Submit to agents and managers online now. It's always been online, but even more so now. Like before, I know you would submit online, and then if there was interest, they'd have you come in for like a callback, and that's still going to be the case. But there was also a case where back in the day, before COVID, I guess, you could just kind of bypass the skip online and then just go straight in when they had like castings. But now so much, it's more online because of the state of the world. So that's definitely a case. And of course, the number one way to get a manager and agent is by recommendation. So don't forget that. If you know somebody, that's the best way. Let's see. I've also had a lot of questions lately since this is a pandemic. What's going on with vaccines, things like that. So here's the deal on that. Yes, some jobs are requiring you to be fully vaccinated before even being considered for the job. That is a complete you thing. Either you want to do the vaccination or you don't want to do the vaccination. That's totally up to you, and that's totally your choice and your opinion. However, yes, they do have the option to do that, and there's nothing we can do about that. That, you know, you have your choices, they have their choices. So I've got a lot of questions about that. So yes, that's something that's new that's happened since the pandemic. You just have to kind of weigh the options for yourself and see what you're comfortable with. But that's definitely out there. There are some jobs that don't mention it at all. Hey, we're going to mask up, we're going to have face shields, whatever the case may be. But then there definitely are other jobs that are saying you must be fully vaccinated even before being considered for the job or even auditioning for the job. So keep that in mind because that is definitely something that's happening, especially if you're going to look for jobs that are out of state. Like now more than ever, I'm seeing must be a Los Angeles local, must be a New York local, something like that, because they don't want you traveling from state to state, because then in between states, in between traveling, flights, train rides, bus rides, whatever the case may be, you're exposing yourself and you're exposing yourself, and then you're going to end up exposing the whole cast and crew. So that's definitely a thing. Yeah, a lot has changed. A lot has changed since COVID, but I mean, it's not all bad. Like I said, nothing to me is better than doing an online casting. Like I told you before, I'm an hour and a half outside of our main market area. So when they're like, oh, send a tape in, praise God, you know? Not even so much. Like, a tape's okay, good, but I really like when they say we're going to do like a live audition, like a Zoom or something like that. Those are really good because then it's like I don't have to do nothing. I just got to set up a backdrop and my kid just got to stand there and do it and talk to people live. When I'm doing the recorded audition, I feel like it's more work for me. So I definitely love these videos. But I mean, as far as the pandemic itself, that's all I think that has really changed in the acting world. I don't know why I've gotten tons of emails, tons of messages about it. But yeah, I mean, I would just say use it to your advantage. how often do we get this opportunity? Hopefully it ends soon and things go back to normal. I don't think we'll ever go fully back to normal, but hopefully we'll be in a place where we have a new norm and things start flowing again, because right now it's a little crazy and I know that. But yeah, we're getting there. Slowly but surely, but we're getting there. But so my next video, guys, is going to be on how to get an agent, how to find auditions, things like that. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I can't wait to see you guys, and have a good day. Be great, be awesome, do your best, never give up. All right, thanks so much, and follow me on my social medias, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I'll see you guys later. Bye.